right, y'all. Here we go again. Another Sunday, another good show. Welcome to Melanated Thought, where we talk about things that affect the black community and beyond. I am Reggio.
And I am Mimi the lady.
And what a lovely lady she is.
Bomb chicka wow wow.
Yeah, buddy. Man,
Yes, sir.
we got a good show today. Hopefully.
Always. So much going on. They always good show.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Because here lately, man, it's been a whole bunch of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. A whole bunch, man. More than we even care to fathom.
And the title of the show today is Generation Loss. And a lot of the things that's been happening in the news is a cause of this generation.
Oh, my God. Let me put the splash screen back up there. So, yeah, generation loss is definitely a very, very, very good subject to touch upon because, yes, this generation is definitely lost. Mm-hmm. And before we really get back into it and get deep into it, the main reason why this generation is so lost is it's mostly our fault. Let's just be honest, because there's a lot of people out there that are too busy trying to be their children's friend as opposed to being a parent. Mm-hmm. So that's part of the problem. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, your children are going to make up their own rules. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be the adult, and you're going to be the child. And then you're going to end up being scared to even talk to your child because of whatever reason.
Right.
But anyway, let's get this music bumping. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I like that one.
Me too.
That's one of my favorites.
What you call this one?
It's called A Shot in the Dark.
Shot in the dark.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, babe, how was your week?
My week was good. Slow, quiet, relaxing for once.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good. Found a new date night spot.
Oh, yeah, we did. We found some really good date night spot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good date night. What's the name of that spot again?
The Catch.
Yeah, The Catch. It's called The Catch. It's a seafood restaurant right in Garland, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in the DFW area, go there. Mm-hmm. The food is good. I mean, the manager, he was really, really personable. Mm-hmm. That's the main thing I liked about this spot.
Absolutely.
Was the manager. He was real personable, man. You know, he gave us complimentary margaritas.
Not us.
Nah, gave me. Now, I'm not a big drinker, y'all. Mm-hmm. I'm really not. I'm not. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not drinking. But, yeah, that was a pretty nice margarita.
It was
there.
good.
It really was.
I mean, I don't know. It was good, though?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It wasn't too much alcohol in it. No. It wasn't overpowering at all because, you know, I functioned just fine when I got home. Mm. So, we won't get to detail about that. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
Well.
I'm sorry about that, y'all.
How was your week?
My week was good. And as usual, I always look forward to our date nights. And we had a really good one, like you said. And you're still laughing, so, you know.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it was a good date night.
Yeah, we had fun. I'm not gonna get into detail about it, but you know, it was good. So, but the week for us, as far as the week is concerned, yes, it was very, very productive. It was productive for the most part.
Can you believe this is the last month of 2021?
This year went by quick, didn't it?
Went by faster than a firecracker.
Oh my God, yeah, man. I mean, you look up and all of a sudden it's December.
3 weeks until Christmas.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we do have Christmas plans, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to OKC to see my people.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. So, we'll be out there. So, Marvin, Julian, if you're listening, we'll be out that way. So, y'all go ahead and get ready for us, and we'll do a little something. But anyway, now here comes a part of the show that I like. Basically, every black person should read at least once in a lifetime.
Absolutely.
We'll wait till the splash screen comes up because it's a little bit of a delay. But yeah, I only have two this time, and they pretty much pertain to the same subject. The first one is called Columbine. It's written by Dave Cullen. And, you know, for those of you who are not familiar with the Columbine incident happened in 1999.
That long ago? Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while, hadn't it?
Jeez.
Over 20 years.
Right.
Over 20 years. So, with that said, you know, that incident happened in 1999. And two young men went through the school and just shot up a whole bunch of folks. I think a total of like 15 or 16 people got killed, something like that.
Yeah.
Students and teachers. So, and that was a pretty bad incident that happened. And it pretty much pertains to the subject that we have today. And it basically talks about the two young gentlemen in hand, which we will get into detail about them later on down the line, because I got a couple of shots of them. I got some real good shots of them for visual purposes, for those about visual people. And so you can see what they look like. And I have a really important question to ask later on in the show, and I would love to have, especially your input, since you being the female, I would love to hear your input on this, a black female at that.
Okay.
Because it pertains to everything that's going on right now. Okay, but yes, the book is called Columbine by David Cullen. Check that book out. It's a pretty good one. So hopefully you check it out and see what's up. And second book is called No Easy Answers: The Truth Behind the Death at Columbine, written by two people, Brooks Brown and Rob Merritt. It's like I said, it pretty much talks about pretty much the same thing. It's talks about how these murders were premeditated, because they planned that out to the letter. And you know, it was kind of a weird thing, man. I wouldn't say weird, but it kind of makes you wonder what goes on in the mind of someone like that, and this book pretty much tells you. And that's all the books I have for today.
No disrespect, but is that easy?
No.
Oh, because I saw the No Easy, so I'm like, did they put a picture of Easy on?
No, it's not easy.
Okay.
That's not easy.
But that's a good read.
Oh yeah, it's a really good read. They're short reads. I mean, I read these books within a week, you know, at home. So, you know, they're really short. Well, really can't say, you know, because I read fast anyway. But yeah, they're really short reads. I mean, like I said, it puts you into the mind of someone that would go and do something like that. So, you know, definitely check those out.
Because it does leave you like, what were they going through? What happened?
Exactly.
Leave you with so many
unanswered questions. Right, exactly.
And so here it is, no easy answer.
There are no easy answers, to be honest with you. So, you know. But anyway, that's all I got for the books, babe.
Two good ones,
All
as
right.
always.
And now for your favorite spot of the show, the current events section.
Yes. Well, first off, let's give condolences to our former Senate leader and Republican presidential candidate, Bob Dole. He passed away this morning in his sleep at the age of 98. Okay.
I put that out there because Bob Dole was not black friendly. You know, he really wasn't. I mean, so, you know, it's not going to... Hold on. Let me turn this up just a little bit. Didn't nobody really hear my boobs. Hold on. There we go.
Well, alrighty
That's
then.
better. That's better.
Yeah, he was one of those ones that I felt like should have left the Senate a long time ago.
It's a bunch of them that's like that, man. To this very day, they just refuse to leave those jobs because they think they're doing good things and they're not.
Well, Rest in peace, rest in power to ex-president presidential candidate Bob Dole.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
I know he ran like 2 or 3 times. I don't think he ever became an actual president, did he?
No, he never got
He
elected.
just ran several times. Somebody gave you a clue. You ran that many times. Didn't nobody want to elect you?
Nobody wanted anything to do with you, man. I mean, come on, dude. Pimping.
But
You know.
he passed away, so still giving his condolences.
Oh yeah, condolences out to him. You know, all that good stuff. So you know.
Well, this past week has been, of course, agonizing.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, rationally.
Right.
You hear about these stories and you just wonder how we still going through this same hamster wheel scenario.
Right.
So here we go.
Okay.
South Carolina man was beaten by an officer when he couldn't lie down fast enough. Now the city will pay him $650,000. The young man was 58 years old from South Carolina. The cops used excessive force, stomping him all up in his head.
Oh.
I don't get it. And they have a picture of the officer. He looks like he is
You're like a racist piece of shit.
Yeah, either he's high or he don't like people of color.
No, he probably don't, man.
But he's
I wouldn't
an
doubt that.
officer. You shouldn't have that type of mentality. He's an officer. You're gonna run across other people other than your skin.
Oh, I agree with you on that. 100%. 100%. I agree with you. Because if you don't want to deal with other people, don't put yourself in that line of work. That's all I got to say about that. It's the same deal with you got certain people like doctors that refuse to administer aid to certain people. If you don't want to help other people, you're forgetting what the Hippocratic Oath is all about. It's the same deal with a cop or anybody else. If you don't like black people, then get out of that line of work, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to come across black people. Nothing you can do about that.
All races.
Yeah, not just black people, but yeah, anybody.
And you know how this all got started? A 911 caller believed that they saw a gun, that Mr. Gaylord had a gun, and he did not.
So
And so when a second officer arrived on the scene, and he tried to de-escalate the situation. He later told his supervisor that Dukes lied and said that, he thought he saw a gun, blah, blah, blah. But the second officer said that is not true. He totally lied. So at least for that officer, at least he was forthright and honest. So let's give him kudos for that.
yeah. At least.
But poor steak. The steak got to come off that squilla.
No, yeah, it got to come out that paper, man. And I'm cool with that, because, you got guys out here that are doing their best to uphold the rules of white supremacy. And they're doing a very good job of it.
I'm beginning to think that everybody needs to invest and go to what's that iLab? That's the new iLab. What's the one with the owl with the glasses? America's Best. And everybody keeps saying they think I saw a gun. I thought I saw a knife. I thought, everybody keep thinking they saw something. Either their eyes are deceiving them, or they might want to invest in some glasses.
Well, see, it's not that their eyes are deceiving them. It's just the fact that they're seeing things that they want to see, so they can justify whatever actions that they have.
And I'm just talking about the 911 call in general. What were you doing and you thought you saw this man with a gun?
Well, it's because he was black. Because all black people carry weapons. Thought you knew that.
Yeah, well, that's not true.
I agree. I don't carry a weapon. You don't carry a weapon. But because we're black, if we're walking down the street in a white neighborhood, guess what? We got a weapon.
Right.
More likely than not, we got a whole arsenal of weapons on us.
Sad. Okay, let's move on.
Moving right along.
These next couple of stories going to be all within the same genre.
Okay.
Okay, we have another Breonna Taylor situation all over again.
Oh, damn.
A jury had acquitted a black man of second-degree murder charge in connection with a botched police raid that left his girlfriend dead. A jury found a 27-year-old black man not guilty of second-degree murder in the 2017 death of his girlfriend, who was struck and killed during an exchange of gunfire as police conducted a narcotic raid on their Florida residence.
Was this a no-knock warrant?
It was a no-knock warrant.
Why am I not surprised?
Yes, sir. But then they tried to blame the boy. Like they did with the Breonna Taylor case. They tried to blame him and everything, wanted him to say that it was her and that she was a kingpin. This is not the same what they said, but the same innuendos was trying to put on this young man right here, but the jury found him not guilty. His girlfriend was 21-year-old Altiera Woods. Lord bless him.
Yeah,
that's why I say it's gonna be scared to be in your own house these days.
Exactly.
If the bad guys don't get you, the cops will. Now it's gonna be hard to tell who the good cops and the bad cops.
Exactly, because the good cops. Not saying that there aren't any good cops out there, because I know a few. But if a good cop just sits back and lets the bad cop do whatever, he's just as guilty as the bad cop is, in my opinion. But they have their code. I use the quotations. They have that code of conduct that they have. You don't flip on another cop. And that's sad. You should flip on another cop. If that cop is doing wrong, flip on his ass.
Right.
Hey, Julian's in here. What's up, Mill?
Hey, Julian. Well, God, another one we say rest in peace to that young lady, and hopefully this young man will get the justice that he needs, because they just need to stop accusing these people of things that they're not doing.
I agree with you on that.
And here's another one.
Oh, Lord, we got another one.
Chicago man called 911 for help during a domestic dispute. A police officer with a history of assault shot the man within seconds of arriving. Didn't even ask the man what was going on, what happened. He just shot him dead.
Well,
right.
So
he called the police for help, and he ended up dead. Yeah.
Wow, that's the messed up part about it right there. You call the cops and you get killed.
And here's we go, another police officer who they say have a history of violent tendencies with common citizens.
Right.
But he's still working, what they say, working the beat.
Yeah.
Still working the beat.
Well, see, that by itself doesn't really surprise me, because one thing that Neely Fuller teaches us, and I keep on trying to tell people to get that book, the Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. I don't have it up here on the screen, but I will put it up here next week. Get that book, people, please, because it tells you exactly how white supremacy operates. Now, white supremacy doesn't. If you're a white supremacist and you're working in law enforcement, you will never ever get fired. You will get transferred. And that's pretty much what happened to him. He probably gets transferred from station to station, from post to post, from department to department, because that's how white supremacy operates. They don't get rid of their soldiers. They just transfer them out.
They asked his son, how does he feel about it? He said, my dad laid there like a dog and died.
Yep.
God bless us.
Shot him like a dog in the street.
A dog in the street.
And that's how they kill us.
Yep.
Like a dog in the streets. What else you got, babe?
Well, that's all for the sorrowful, but here's another one.
Okay.
Executed. And this is one that we need to give some applause on. A family has filed lawsuits against St. Louis police over another no-knock raid, that left sleeping 63-year-old grandfather dead of 9 gunshot
I heard about that. I heard about that story. Yeah.
Even though this happened in 2017, they're on June 30th this year, they're just now able to file a lawsuit because so much red tape that stopped it. They kept saying that, they tried to put drugs and guns on this young man. 63? I mean, don't get me wrong, I know everybody different, whatever, but no.
Yeah, I know it, man. It's just...
Everybody in the neighborhood and his family was saying he was a hard-working young man. He didn't deserve that to happen to him.
And yet again, I keep telling people, the Compensatory Counter-Racist Code, that's what they'll do. They will use whatever means they can to justify the killing. That's what they do. They've always done that since day one. Because for the longest time it was illegal for a black man to even own any parts of a weapon.
Unbelievable. Well, I just say this: when these state governments or state agencies or state whatever keep paying out these big lawsuits,
oh yeah, they get some act right.
Exactly. they'll start trying to do a little bit more training or hire some
Exactly.
more people that's a little bit better.
Well, stop enlisting white supremacists as a whole, because there's a lot of police departments that will not hire you unless you're a part of a white supremacist group.
Pitiful.
And this is documented. I mean, I'm not just saying this. I don't have a 10-4 kufi on y'all. I'm telling you, this is what this has been well documented. So, yeah, they will not let you inside law enforcement. I'll get it out in a minute. They will not let you inside law enforcement unless you're a part of a white supremacist group, and that's sad.
That's awful.
I agree.
And here's one. This is do you remember the white police officer, which is a young lady who thought she pulled her taser instead of her gun, and she shot the young 20-year-old?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they finally got that case under wraps, so they finally have selected the jury. And of course, most of the jury is white.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Social media is all up in arms about it, and they feel like that is a cry for file selection.
I agree with you on that. I agree with them on that. I agree with them on that 100%, because with that all-white jury, it's going to be just like the OJ trial all over again. No, not the OJ trial, but the Rodney King trial all over again. That's what it's going to be. They're going to take that case and they're going to put it in pretty much in an all-white town. And they're going to get off.
The young man's name was Dante Wright.
Yeah.
And this is the selection of the jury. It was split between men and women, but 9 identify as white, 1 is black, and 2 is Asian.
Wow.
Then we just go through that with Ahmaud and with Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Only one, like one of the, what was that, Ahmaud's jury in Georgia, where most of this county was mostly black citizens. It was only 1 on the jury.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
I agree.
Well, hopefully this trial will, and his family will get justice, because you've been on the force for that long and you don't know the weight and the different sizing of your gun versus your taser. You need to be off the force as well.
She knew, because if you look at a taser, it looks way different and it weighs different than your gun does.
Absolutely.
So you know the difference between the two.
Absolutely. So hopefully that will come up with a favorable verdict.
Yeah.
For the family.
Yeah.
Now I know you have your issues with this next story, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it anyway. At the time that Kamala Harris was running for presidential candidate, she surrounded herself with a whole lot of melanin. So she lost, and then Joe Biden selected her as vice president. Once they got in office this year in January 16th, they officially became a part of the White House scenario.
Right.
As of November this year, she hardly had any melanin on her staff. 2 of the ones that I was kind of partial to, because they were her number 1 cheerleader, was Simone Sanders and Ashley Etienne. I roll with those ladies because I love their servitude. They get behind the cause and they go full throttle. So I'm kind of torn, like, what did these ladies do? They helped to get her selected. Even though she might not have become president, she did become vice president.
Right.
So what was it that made her, I'm just going to use this word, dump Simone and Ashley now that she's gotten her feet wet?
I can tell you right now, they outlive their usefulness. That's what white supremacists do. Again, their book, The Counter-Racist Code. That's what white supremacy does. What they do is, once they get finished with their tools, they break them. So those 2 ladies were tools. They served their purpose. They're no longer useful. So that's why they are no longer employed, for lack of a better term.
Well, I know both of them came off as, kind of harsh toward black men and things like that. So do you think, for lack of better words, they were cooning?
That's exactly what they were doing. They were catering to the Democratic Party, which the Democratic Party it's just another flavor of white supremacy. You can't really just say that it's just Republicans that are racist, because that's a lie. We're seeing that now. That.
White supremacy always breaks it down.
There you go. And again, like I said, white supremacy always breaks its tools. It always breaks its tools.
Well, for a long time, people have accused, especially Simone, of bootlicking.
Oh yeah, she is a bootlick.
So I hate that for her to lose her job right here at the holiday season. I'm not laughing. I'm just,
Right.
It's just crazy that she does it now, but she'll bounce back because she's always on some good political roller coaster. So hopefully she'll bounce back with another good candidate since we're coming into that election season.
Well, I don't wish no bad on anybody.
Exactly.
But the thing of it is, this just goes to show you what cooning will get you, ladies and gentlemen. It will get you nowhere fast. So all that cooning that they did, all that bootlicking that they did, didn't do them any good. So, there's that.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, ladies. This is another story that kind of, I sent it to you, and I was like, what the? And that's the headline, WTH. White athletic director told a black high school player he got his speed from, quote unquote, running from the police. Of course, this is an older white gentleman. He was an older white coach. But that shouldn't excuse him, even if he was, if he didn't realize what he was saying.
He knew.
Or if he was trying to not even be racist about it, the undertone was straight fire. Sorry.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He can't lie and say that he didn't know what he was doing. He knew exactly what he said when he said it. So, if he loses his job because of that... That's all I got to say about that. Yeah. So, when I read that story, I'm like, what did he say? He wouldn't have told a white kid that. He damn sure wouldn't have told a white child that.
Not at all. No. Not at all. Which is sad that... And I don't even disagree with the student, because after the coach told him that he unenrolled in the school, he began homeschooling. Yeah. Because he felt disrespected and felt like that was just a form of calling him the N-word.
That's exactly what it was. He just did it on the low key tip. He did it incognito style. So that's exactly what he was doing. Calling him a nigga, but without saying the word nigga.
Right. Which is pathetic. Like we said last week, now they getting with the babies. They started on the babies.
That's how they start out, man. It's just like, I've always said this. It's just like whenever you watch a nature show and you see a pack of lions hunting, they don't go after the strongest person. They don't ever go after the strongest prey, I should say. They always go after the weakest. The one that's not paying attention. That's what they go after. It always happens like that. Watch those nature shows because it teaches you a lot about life in general. The predators always go after the weakest prey. And the weakest prey is always the child. The smaller ones. Right. So
here's another story from a previous podcast that we talked about. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard about the Kyle Rittenhouse case of the little 17-year-old who went to Kenosha, caught himself trying to be a vigilante, right, and ended up shooting 5 people and killing 2. Now that he's been found not guilty of all charges, now he says that he's going to destroy the AR-15 rifle he used in the Kenosha and doesn't want anything to do with it. Now, what I'm going to say about this is, I guess you would be done with it. That's just like if you open up a can of Pringles and you ate the last Pringle, what you gonna do with it?
You gonna throw it in the can away. Yeah,
exactly.
You gonna throw the can away.
So you done used the gun, kill some folks. What you need to keep it for?
Exactly. You've already done what you need to do with that thing.
This young man needs to go somewhere and sit down.
Oh, he's not going to.
He's doing too many talk shows. He's going around talking about it like he think he has really did something positive. And in essence, this is coming off. Every time he speaks, it comes off more negative, more disgusting, more white privilege to me.
That's
and
exactly
I wish
what it
somebody
is.
would just tell him, bruh, you got out free and clear. Go in your house, lock the doors, don't never be seen again. But he's out here just talking recklessly.
He's going to continue to do it too because people allow him to do just that.
I don't get it. I'm going to get rid of it now. Of course you don't use it. It's done with now.
Again, what I just say, white supremacy breaks its tools once it get finished using them.
Exactly. And here's another story. I hate this for him, but again, this is another Kyle story. You know, he was enrolled at Arizona State University, and so the students there signed a petition to have him no longer be enrolled at the school because they do not want to be associated with a known killer on the roster. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. Hand claps, him clap, 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 clap. I mean, because that's what people gonna know. What school did you go to? Arizona State. Oh, that's where Kyle, you went to school with Kyle, the guy who shot the people. Well, who really wants to be known for that? So kudos to those students for taking a stand to understand that the premise of what this young man has done was major. And I don't condone them, and I applaud them 100%.
Hold up, y'all. I gotta adjust my mic. Okay, so yeah, I agree with him 100%. So you know, I'm with it. I don't have any issues with that. Do you?
Not at all. And here's another story. This is the one that kind of made me giggle, you know. Nothing is funny, everything is serious, but some of these things that I've come across, we'd be like, are you serious right now? Will we have another Karen among the mist?
Oh man, not another one.
And this is a crazy mom.
Oh damn.
Who's trying to use the Tennessee anti-critical race theory law to ban all MLK books in the school. To me, they want to erase everything black. Everything black.
I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen, and the reason why I knew it was going to happen is that once they started talking really heavy about the critical race theory, you already knew that it was going to be mostly white people that's going to have an issue with it.
But honestly, though, how can you erase black history? Because this world that we live in right now wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't from black history.
You know what? Say it again for the people that's hard of hearing in the back.
I mean, you know,
say it again,
this
please.
world would not be here, standing, rolling, circulating, revolving around the sun if it wasn't for black history. So why are we trying to eliminate that? If somebody can answer that for me, I'll be okay.
Well, history, there was a historian, I can't remember who the historian was, that said that history is always written from the perspective of the conqueror. So right now, you got to think about this for a second. Who are the so-called conquerors of the United States? White people. So of course they're going to have their history written to the point to where they seem like they're the heroes.
Well, my thing is, you know, critical race theory is a way of understanding how American, you know, race has shaped, you know, the public policy, the world we live in, the diversiveness, the difference in skin color.
Yeah.
You know, right now to me it's pitting people of color against white people, which is crazy. Liberals against conservatives, however you want to say it.
Right.
They're all up in arm and disagreeing about everything.
Yeah.
But honestly, why is it under attack?
It's under attack because nobody wants to be talking about.
400 plus years.
Well, it's under attack because because they have that whole ideology of I don't want any other history taught other than mine.
Wow.
That's just how they see it. I've always said this: white people, for the most part, are very narcissistic. They always have been.
Okay.
All
So,
throughout history.
okay, let me play devil's advocate. Indian. You don't have no history.
So what now?
Indian, what do they call? What's they?
Natives.
Native Americans. They don't have no history.
They have a rich history.
Hispanics, Mexican, however you want to say that. Do they have history?
Yes. So, but you really can't count them because their history didn't come into the United States until later on down the line.
But I'm saying they have
yes,
it.
they do, but they do have it. Yes,
so why
they
are
do.
they trying to get rid of just the black portion of history? That's what I'm a little confused with.
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
Man,
That is a really good
melanin.
question.
I'm telling you, this melanin that we carry.
I'm telling you, man, it's a monster, ain't it?
When he be saying,
Yes, indeed, feed the needy, man. Come on.
it makes you just be like, damn, this melanin's body is this bad.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you want to erase the whole.
You want to take everything out of it,
history?
man. Come on.
Wow.
What kind of sense does that make?
And it's always these white.
Yeah, you already know. You already know.
I don't know if she's a stay-at-home mom, but they normally look like that. And if you really get down to the bone of it,
Yeah.
critical race theory is not taught in any schools.
No, it's not. It's
So
not
where
going
is
to
all
be.
this coming from? All of a sudden, just this year alone.
Right.
Because critical race theory just was not invented in 2021.
Critical race theory has been around for a minute. I mean, I don't like that name, critical race theory. I mean, just call it what it is, Black history.
Black history, exactly.
So, but they call it critical race theory so it'd be more palatable to white people.
Now I know that there are some colleges, if I'm not mistaken, that is teaching, but it is not taught in any K through 12 education program.
Of course not.
In these here United States.
Of course not, because it's a problem. Because like I said, you got all kinds of white people talking about the critical race theory issue. It's going to divide the country more than what it already is. This country's already divided. It can't get any more divided than what it is now.
Pitiful. I mean, it's just like, okay, you want to erase everything, fine. So when your child come to me and say, hey mom, I met this real cool kid at school, his name is Demonte, and he looks nothing like me, and he was telling me his history, but I've never learned it, mom, can you teach me?
You know what's getting ready to happen with that. What's going to happen? I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's going to happen. If it hasn't already happened, it's going to happen.
What?
That very question that you just asked.
Oh yeah,
it's going to happen in a whole bunch of white households all over the damn place.
Now, unless this mom and dad is an older race that grew up like about my age and older, these new generation parents, they're gonna be something like,
Exactly.
So I guess Google will become their best friend. Which is pathetic. You should already have it in your mindset.
Of course.
That's how I'm feeling.
Of course.
I'm done talking about it. Moving on.
Moving right along.
Now this story is
What you got? Is it a good one?
Your friend Candace Owen. Baby girl got, I always said she had a couple of screws, but I think her whole neck done screwed off from her body. Her neck look like, what's that monster that got them screws on side of his
Frankenstein.
neck? Frankenstein. Because she need to unscrew her neck sometime and put a new one on, because some of the stuff this woman say cannot be for real.
She's for real.
There's no way.
What did she say this time that was stupid?
She was on Tucker Carlson's show.
Tucker the fucker. Yeah, I said it. Tucker the fucker.
Tucker the fucker.
And I apologize for the youngsters, for the younger people that's out there listening to this. I'm sorry, but I had to say that.
Okay, she alleges, strong word, I want to say something else, that black Americans were the country's most murderous group. I did a paper in college. 19 and I learned a lot. It was on the welfare system. I forgot to tell you that's the topic. It was the welfare system.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot when I did that. I had to do my research on the
I'm
welfare
sure you
system.
did.
You
learned the truth, didn't you?
Becomes to find out that all these years they keep trying to blame the black woman this, the black mother this.
And it's more white people on welfare than anything.
More white people on welfare than anything. So with Candace, she might want to unscrew her neck and go to a book and realize, of course we do have black on black crime. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it does not exist.
Right.
But there's more white on white crime than black on black crime.
Hello.
So somebody might want to tell this young woman, you know what, step back from the mic. Stop going on these different talk shows because you looking like a raw ass.
Come on now. Say it again.
And I meant to say ass for the kids. Sorry.
Say it was.
She's really beginning to piss me off because every time she says something, it's always negative. And I know she's not a true foundational black. She's from Jamaica or something.
Yeah, her
But baby, when you up in that courthouse and up in that White House, they looking at your skin. They not trying to see what your travel papers say.
Of course not. But see, that's how those types are. That's number one. Okay, they have disdain for black people. A lot of them do.
And why are you here?
They wouldn't be here.
Back to Jamaica.
Let me tell you something. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for black people. Because black people fought for them to come here. But they don't look at it like that. They look at it like, well, I got my green card now, man. Fuck y'all. It's pretty much how they see it.
And she, every time she says something, they come down on her and they condemn her. But people like Tucker Carlson and
of course he got beat up.
Yeah, they just continue to have her to come on their shows. I think they do it for the rating, because people be like, what this dummy gonna say now? You know.
Exactly. She's a tool too, and she too stupid to even see it.
Because I heard, the first time I heard was on River Now's podcast, and he just kept saying he wouldn't even say her name. That's how pathetic this situation is.
They just go to show you how much she's hated in the black community, man. She has no credibility in the black community, none whatsoever.
Because she come across thinking she's so politically smart and so aware of the black culture, but she really don't know anything.
She has no clue.
None. And the reason why I'm coming down on her so hard, because if you guys haven't heard, my girl crush, Stacey Abrams, has announced that she is running for Georgia State Governor in 2024. She'll be going up again. Yes. She will be going up against Brian Kemp again. That's the one who stole it from her before. But she's going to run again. You know, after she made that announcement, here come Candace Owens.
Well, see,
turn into Stacey Abrams saying that she's corrupt and connected with the mob.
Well, see,
are you serious?
But see, here's the thing about people like Candace Owens. Now, I'm not a big Stacey Abrams fan, because to me, she's just a tool of the Democratic Party. No disrespect to her, but hey, that's just what it is.
Yeah,
she's a tool of the Democratic
but she
Party.
has done a lot, though.
Maybe she has, maybe she hasn't. Okay,
that's where we don't disagree.
That's questionable. Yeah. Okay, that's questionable. We're just going to agree to disagree on that part.
Okay.
But on the other side of the coin, when it comes to Candace Owens, you know, she needs to take several seats. You know, I mean, in the words of one of my favorite rappers, Willie D, your mama should be embarrassed and your daddy should have pulled out.
Oh, Lord.
Because she said some of the dumbest shit that you ever heard of, man. I mean, saying that right there. Now, according to the FBI, who I'm going to believe over her any day of the week, there are more white murders than there are black. And like I said before on previous shows, when it comes to black, quote unquote, black on black crime, which I think is bullshit altogether, the black crimes get over-reported and the white crimes get downplayed. Just like this crime that we're going to talk about on this show,
right.
It gets downplayed. Whereas the black on black crime, so you know, quote unquote, they get blown out of proportion, and just like my grandfather would say, they put 100 on 10 when it comes to them.
And you'll be surprised. It's like, you know, she's trying to say Stacey Abrams is entitled. Entitled to what? This woman has worked her way up. Yeah, she has a sister that's a judge, and she has a brother that does something else, but Stacey Abrams is not out here looking for no hand. She is trying to do something for the black culture, to me. This is my opinion. Yes, I follow her. Yes, I love her opinion. I love her stance. I love her mannerism. I just love the way that she has fought for us to even vote. Us meaning people in Georgia. People, it's just whatever she feels is her opinion. But to me, Candace Owens needs to take a seat. She needs to have a seat, because she just, to me, she's just a waste.
She's a waste of space.
She's a waste of political, you know, people keep coming to her for political analysis. She's a waste of a woman. She's a waste of a melanin woman. She's just a waste of skin. She's a waste of everything. This is my opinion.
Let me ask you this. No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. Let me ask you this. Not that this matters or anything. It matters, but it doesn't matter. She's married to a white man, ain't she? How did I know that? How did I know that?
And it just bothers me, you know, like I said, everybody, just like this show, we all have our own opinion. But when she gets up on these political shows and in front of a camera and makes asinine comments like this about people, about different situations, here come the other race. I just love her.
Of course.
I think she's wonderful.
Of course, because she's throwing
Candace
black people under the
Owens
bus.
should run for president.
But they love her because she keeps throwing black people under the bus.
Under the bus. You go drive forward, back again, run over them again.
Exactly. That's why I love her so much, because she keeps throwing black people under the bus. And as long as she continues to do that, she will get a paycheck. And I think that's why she does it.
You know, for a long time, I used to feel like that about Condoleezza Rice.
I don't like her either.
Yeah, and it seemed like Candace just came up and just took right up in her space.
Oh yeah, she's a modern day Condoleezza.
Right up in her.
She's a modern day Condoleezza.
Come on, really?
Because you know Condoleezza would throw black folks on the bus in a heartbeat and wouldn't think twice about it, and look at you and say, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah, I did it. At least, like I said, at least she's admitted. But like this lady here, Candy, just make it seem like what? It's true.
No, it's not true. She has no clue.
Okay,
Remember that?
Sit down somewhere.
Now, this is something I want to talk about on the show as well. Remember when I told you about what Larry Elder said about slavery? Said that the slave owners should get reparations before the enslaved did. Remember that? Well, see, this goes along this goes along the same lines, because if Larry Elder had picked up a history book, he would know that the second the slaves were freed, all the slave owners, all the people that owned slaves got compensation for losing their property. So they got reparations for that. This goes along the lines of people learning their history. So obviously he didn't know anything about that, because he don't believe in picking up a book when it comes to black history.
Unless they went to an all-white school and they only gave them like 2 or 3 days of it, and that was enough.
Yeah.
They didn't do no more. They didn't do any further research or do any further.
And this goes on the lines of, and this goes on the same lines of Candace Owens. She didn't do her research. She is talking out the side of her neck, like the Cameo song goes. And that song was about politics.
Wow. It bothers me.
It
bothers me.
Oh yeah, it irks me to hear black people say stupid shit like that, and then be really, really adamant about the situation.
But what makes me so skin just crawling down, rubbing my arm, and I rub my skin because my skin is just crawling. It's because if that's how you feel, that's your stance. Just like me, I keep saying these are my thoughts. These are my thoughts. Why are you trying to make other people believe what you're saying? That's baby. Ain't nobody gonna believe that. That's why we get our own little Googles out, our little tickers, our little whatever. Do your own research and make your own judgment about what you think and what you want to do. So, if that's how she feels, that's her. But to me, she still come across as being an asinine idiot.
She is a dumbass. Let's call it what it is. She's a dumbass. She's a dumbass. I mean, she might be the most intelligent person on the planet, but she's a dumbass.
Right. Well, now to the story of the day. Not quite the story topic, but the last. I'm gonna make this one the last current event.
Okay. Him.
Ready?
I'm ready, baby.
Please control yourself.
All right.
Plumber finds cash, checks behind loose toilet and wall at Joel Osteen Lakewood Church. The discovery comes after $600,000 in checks and cash disappeared from the Houston megachurch safe in 2014. So this plumber went in there, they gave him a work order. We haven't plumbed the process. While he was there, he came across the money and found it.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The money came missing from a safe, correct? That's what you said, right?
And he already done put a work order. He put a claim in with the insurance company. The insurance company done pay him and everything. My question is, I know this is the compact city where the Houston Rockets used to play. Was it left then? Or is this something that Joe was trying to hide from the IRS? Or did one of his people that work in his accounting office was taken on the table and decided to hide? I have so many questions.
There are so many questions. Now, you know how I feel about Laughing Boy.
That's why I just say, I know this is me. I look at him, try to look at him every Sunday, and the whole time
she does, man,
moving around and why are you looking at him? He smiled too much. He can't be trusted. He smiled too much.
You can't trust somebody to smile too much. Every time you turn around, it's like he has a permanent smile on his face. To all my comic book heads out there that's listening to this show, we know who the Joker is. The Joker is constantly smiling. He is evil as he wants to be. That's what he reminds me of. I mean, he smiles too damn much. You can't trust somebody that smiles that damn much. I'm sorry, y'all. And this proves it. I don't care what anybody says. This proves it right here. Somebody that had the combination to that safe stashed that money someplace.
I was thinking maybe like, how some churches, they have different floors, and maybe like Joel's office is on like the 4th floor, and then like administration's on the 3rd floor, and then like the main sanctuary is on the 2nd floor, and then like accounting is maybe like in the basement. And maybe when they collect the money, they have one of those like a drop box at the bank, you know. They put it in and it rolls down this long corridor, and it drops into like this bin in the accounting office, or either in the safe in the accounting office, and when they dropped it, maybe it got stuck.
No. Nah.
I'm trying.
Nah.
I'm trying.
Nah, man. Nah.
I'm just going to say this because I've heard this so many times, because people always question me about church and religion and stuff like that. I know everybody going to have their own opinion. But when things like this happen, and when Creflo asked his people for the plane, and when we were looking at something tonight, Peter Popoff talking about rub this water on your bills and it'll get paid. This is why so many people don't go to church.
That's exactly it.
This is why so many people don't tithe.
That's exactly it.
This is why so many people call preachers pimps.
That's exactly what they are. A lot of them are.
I hate that because I do know some good ministers and pastors and preachers and brothers in my immediate realm of religion,
right,
that I would bet all the money I have in the bank, which is $2.12, that they are not like this.
I'm not saying that all,
but it's things
I would
like
never
this.
say. Now,
I don't know.
Now, let me allow me to retort. Mm-hmm. I would never ever say that all preachers are pimps. Mm-hmm. I would never say that because there are some good ones out there. Mm-hmm. But when you see stuff like this, you are absolutely correct. This is the reason why a lot of people are getting away from the church, because of incidents like this one. Mm-hmm. Now, if that were like, let's say, Reverend Ike. Now, we already know Reverend Ike was a pimp. We know that for a fact. We know that Reverend Ike wasn't doing nothing but hustling black people. He hustled a lot of them. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's just say this is Reverend Ike. This show and a whole bunch of other shows will be talking bad about that. We'll be talking about that so damn bad until it's pathetic. Until Reverend Ike, finally fessed up and said, "Yeah, I did it." But yeah, you're right. I agree with you on that, man. This is the reason why a lot of people are getting away from the church, because of incidents like this one.
Well, this is. I'm just going to read a little synopsis of what he said. The plumber. He came out to the church on November 10th because there was a loose toilet in the wall, and we removed the tile. Okay. We went to remove the toilet, and I moved some insulation away, and about 500 envelopes fell out of the wall, which that means they probably collected from that day's sermon.
Wow. Somebody put that shit there.
What is it?
Okay, so the tiles were loose. Somebody stashed their stuff there and never came back and got it.
I had to blame. I'm sorry, I had a brain freeze. That's probably what that morning's offering take, And that's what I'm saying. Unless somebody, 500 envelopes fell out of the wall, and I was like, oh wow, this is the plumber speaking. The plumber then contacted the maintenance supervisor of the Lakewood Church and turned all the envelopes in. Now this is the part right here that gets me. It's not clear how much money was in the envelopes. But earlier y'all said $600K.
So somebody knew. Somebody lying.
Now my question is, I look at Joe, like I said, just about every morning.
She does, every Sunday.
Every Sunday. It's a lot of people up in there.
A whole lot of folks.
Maybe it was more like 1 million.
I'm not going to say it wasn't.
And he took some. And they only counted 6.
Well, see, the thing of it is, I'm pretty sure if he did take any, he took the checks.
No, he took the cash.
The cash. That's what I meant. Because he can't do anything with the checks.
The checks are bouncing. They probably done cut them. Most people canceled those because they didn't clear.
Hell yeah.
It makes me wonder. But then also I saw in the news as well, he said he didn't take anything. This is what he said.
I believe it.
And that he's a little perturbed because Joel Osteen offered a reward of $25,000 if anybody can come clean or come across and say they know of what happened to the money.
Oh, he knows.
Even though he filed a claim with his insurance company and got paid.
Oh, he know what
So
happened.
now I
to
have
it.
two questions. Is he going to turn this money into the IRS, back to the insurance company?
No.
And will he pay this man the reward?
Hell no.
And that's what the last of the story that I read about today. The plumber was on the news this morning. This all happened in Houston, of course. And he said that they have not offered him the reward.
They're not going to either.
So
They're not going to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So if you was in that position, let's be frank here.
Okay.
If you was in this position, what say you? Do you turn it back in? Do you just put it in your plumber's baby like, well, toilet's fixed, and then you close your business and move out of state? I mean, what would you do, honestly?
Honestly, knowing me and being the kind of person I am, I would definitely tell somebody, hey, I found this money. You know, I don't know, somebody maybe stash it here. I don't know how much it is. I ain't touched none of it. This, that, and the third. That's what I would do. I would just say, hey, here's some money here. Here's some money here. Now, as to whether or not they get it all.
Okay, because that's what I was saying. Because I'm like, oh, well, damn, I thought I knew you better than this. Not that you're a thief. I'm not going to call you a thief. I'm just saying, God blesses you in mysterious ways.
I agree with you on that.
And I would have said, this is a blessing from God.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, if it was some cash in there, I mean, okay.
I mean, I know
somebody stashed it because somebody tried to steal it, so it was already stolen. So I don't need to steal anything.
I mean, but if you don't even know if somebody tried to steal, because it's like, how did that money get in between there? Why without somebody having to push a hole or cut a hole
Exactly.
in the
That's my whole point.
and had it patched back up?
That's my whole
That's why I'm
point.
thinking maybe they had that tunnel of the room.
No.
And it, tunneled
No.
down to
And then no. Somebody stashed this shit there.
So that mean that wall's been cut.
That's the
up
reason why it was
before.
loose. That's the reason why it was loose. The toilet was loose for a reason because somebody stashed it there. That's the
why
reason
I'm
why it was
saying,
loose.
God blesses you in mysterious ways.
Good point. Good point. That's a really good point. But yeah, like I said, I call you up, hey baby, that house you want. You might want to start picking out furniture for it right now. We'll be all right.
In the words of that, what's that show? Loaded up the truck, yeah, we moved to Beverly. We out of here.
Yep.
I mean, tomato. I know everybody got their opinions about that. Some people think if you would have taken that money, you stealing from God.
No,
Okay.
somebody already sold it.
Okay, but
I'm not stealing from nobody. I'm not stealing from anybody. God don't need it. He's omnipotent. What are you gonna do with it?
what's that old childhood sign? Finders keepers,
Exactly.
losers weepers.
Come on now.
I mean, we're having fun about it, but this is a story that needs to be investigated
I agree with you
a
on
little
that.
bit more.
Oh yeah, because there's
And I
more to
do
it.
think that plumber needs to be rewarded more than some gift cards or
I agree
whatever.
with you on that, man. And don't just pray for that prom or nothing like that. That prom,
God bless you, that's it.
No, damn that. Bless me with some cash in my hand. How about that? Because I
Right.
couldn't have said anything about it.
Right.
But
Okay, so on to today's topic. I think those are. Well, I did want to speak. I mean, briefly. We always talk about movies that we watch together and things like that.
Yeah.
We watched the movie Passing
yeah,
the other night.
yes,
And it was
good movie.
very good movie.
It was a very good
It was
movie. It was a
very
very
like
good
I
movie.
didn't fall asleep.
She did
That's
not
gonna
once.
be my new my new mantra. I'm gonna let you know if I fell asleep or not.
Yeah,
I did not fall asleep.
she didn't.
It was good.
It was really good. It really was good.
Very enlightening. I did not know any of that. I mean, what's her name? Rachel Zoladar.
Rachel Dolezal.
Okay, I knew about her. I mean, I knew about that, but to see how it really happened and how mad the Caucasian man was when he found out.
Right.
It's just wow. Like I said earlier, this melanin.
Well,
Yeah.
passing for white is something that a whole bunch of light-skinned black people tried to do. There was a lot of them that could have passed for white that was so light that they could have passed for white. Case in point, Lena Horne. Beautiful woman, could have passed for white easy, but she refused to.
But she recognized, and she was a heavy hitter in the civil rights movement.
Oh, no doubt about it. Adam Clayton Powell. He could have passed for white. He refused to do that. He refused to do that, and he was a damn sure heavy hitter in politics.
It always reminds me of that movie Imitation of Life. And I try to look at it every year it comes on.
That's exactly
and
what
I
it
cry
was.
at that
That's
scene.
exactly what that movie was. They just took Imitation of Life and just updated it a little bit. That's all they did.
And I cry at that scene when her mom died and she runs after that casket. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I cry all the time. But it's just, Is it that bad to have that you either that you're embarrassed to be black or that you trying to achieve more? I'm still kind of torn on.
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both.
Pass for it?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. Because if you have because like there's a lot of black people out there right now that would cut off vital parts of their anatomy to pass for white. If they could get away with it.
No.
Me personally, I wouldn't do it. You know, I mean, if I was a couple of shades lighter, no light skin jokes, people. If I was a couple of shades lighter, then I wouldn't do it. I still wouldn't do it.
Really?
No, I wouldn't do it at all. At all.
I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to say this from the bottom of the soul and the depth of my spirit. I'm proud to be black.
Me too.
I'm proud to be a woman. I won't cut nothing, shave nothing, bleach nothing. I won't do that. I just know.
I hope not. I like
Take
everything.
me as I am.
Shit, I like everything where it's at.
Take me as I am. It's like you have to have a strong sense of, is it self-loathe about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
To try to pass. And you see how, like in the movie, I don't want to tell the movie if anybody haven't seen it, but she was holding a conversation, the way he had the disdain toward black people. She said, so it seemed like you don't like black people. He said, oh, no, you're wrong. I hate them.
Yeah.
That's a strong word.
Yeah, he says he hate black people.
And then didn't even know any. But here you are, unbeknownst to you, you're married to one.
You're married to one, number one. Number two, you're talking to another.
Sitting on your couch.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Good movie, guys. I recommend it.
I recommend it as well. You know, it's a really good movie, y'all.
Absolutely.
It's a really good movie. And on top of that, you know, once you get the movie, excuse me, once you watch the movie, there's a book out called Black Like Me. I forget the author's name, but you know, that's another one. It tells the reverse part of that. You know, how a white person tried to pass for black, and he took that. As a matter of fact, the author of the book is the one that wrote the book. There's one that actually did it. He disguised himself as a black man to see what it was like to live as a black man, and he wrote his experiences down in that book called Black Like Me.
Wow.
So definitely check that book out. Check that book out. I can't remember the author's name. It escapes me right now at the moment. But you know, for those of you who are avid readers like myself, definitely get that book.
Right. All right, darling, you ready to get to the show topic?
Yeah. Got the
Generation Lost.
Got the splash screen popping up.
Generation Lost.
And this generation is definitely lost, man.
Let me do this. I would like to do a disclaimer before I get started. I have no children on this earth. I haven't wholeheartedly raised any children. I've babysitted some children. I've watched after some children. But to say that I was responsible for children more than 6 months, I have not. So that's my disclaimer.
Okay.
But I still have an opinion.
Right.
About this generation that's pretty much going to call my future if God said the same when I hit 65.
Well, see, here's the thing. You have nieces. So
I said I've babysitted. I've kept them like maybe 3 or 4 days at a time. I have never just had like the full responsibility of having them here, getting them to school, getting them. You know, I have not done that. I have helped my brother and sister with them along the way, but say that I'm full. I don't. So like I said, I don't know what a single mother is going through. I don't know what a single father is going through. I don't know how a family adjusts to if the dad gonna pick the kids or if the mom. You know, I don't know that. So let me put that disclaimer there right now. But I know you have lived through that. You know how to do that. I mean, you have done that.
Right.
But I'm going to say that for my part. But I still have an opinion.
Of course.
About what I see.
As you should, because, like, it's out there.
In these kids today.
It's out there. Because you go to Walmart, you see it. You go out in public, period, you see it.
I just want to start with what happened the other day with this 15-year-old young man. It kind of piggybacked off of your books of the day with Columbine.
Right.
And it piggybacks off of Kyle Wittenhouse.
Right.
These young people, I guess they're being bullied. They are getting, I don't know if it's white privilege, but we're going to talk about an incident that happened here locally too, with a young black man who took a gun to school as well.
Right.
But I just don't understand why these kids feel like. Let me start here. When I was in school,
Right.
and by the grace of God, knock on wood, I never was bullied. And I've always been a thick chick all my life. All my life. I've been a plus size chick. I never was bullied. I was kind of popular, to be honest. When you did see a bully or someone getting bullied, they threw up the deuces. They fought. Fisticuffs. Is that what it's called? Fisticuffs?
Yeah.
I do not remember us running because somebody pulled out a gun. I don't remember us running away, somebody pulled out a knife. I do remember us running when we see the teacher come with the powder in their hand.
Of course.
I do remember doing that. But as far as a gun situation or a knife situation, I've never experienced that in school. So why these kids now getting their hands on guns where you have to be 21 years of age to have a gun? First, let's just start there. I know they probably, because I'm sure your parents have taught you if anything happened, because we do have a lot of latchkey kids. I understand that. And the parent probably told them, okay, the gun is here. If you feel like somebody breaking the house, go get the gun. That's fine. But why these kids are taking these guns to school and shooting up the school, I'm having a hard time understanding that.
Well, I can honestly tell you, as a person that went to school, and as a person that was bullied in school, because I was bullied because I was small, and I kept good grades. I kept to myself. I didn't really bother a lot of folks. I didn't have a lot of friends. I'd be the first to tell anybody that I've only had like a handful of people I considered a friend. Now I can honestly tell you that when I went to school in the country, I was never bullied, ever. I was only bullied when I went to school in the city.
I see, that was opposite for me. When I went to school in the country, I was dumb as hell. They didn't teach black kids like they taught white kids.
Right. Of course not. That's how it works. But anyway, in the city, I was bullied. I was like a bully magnet. But over, after a while, when you keep going through that, eventually you're gonna get sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're gonna get sick of running. One or two things are going to happen. Either I'm going to hurt him or he's going to hurt me. So the few times that I was bullied in school, I was always told by my mother and my stepfather, hey, somebody mess with you, they put their hands on you, you put your hands on them. Me being a martial artist and start training in martial arts at a young age, they always told me, you know how to defend yourself. So whenever a bully would confront me, after a couple of well-placed punches and kicks, they left me alone. And I tell people all the time, even when I was teaching Kung Fu on a regular basis, if you come up across a bully, you can try to tell them the teacher, you can try to tell them an authority figure, it's not going to work, I'm telling you that right now. Only thing that's going to do is piss that bully off even more. The best way to handle a bully is to fight that bully back, because bullies always pick on people that they know are not going to fight them back. That's what they always pick on. If you fight a bully back, they'll leave you the hell alone. Trust me, I know, because I've done it on several occasions. Now, it's sad that this young man was bullied. I hate bullies. I don't like them at all. Hell, you got grown bullies out here. Nobody bullies me because I don't let them do it. And I refuse to let people. I refuse to let somebody bully somebody else if I see it in my presence. But I've always told people that's the best way to handle a bully. Fight them back. They'll leave you alone. They always do. Now this young man, I'm like, again, it's sad that he was bullied. He shouldn't have been bullied at all. But taking a gun to school and popping off shots, that's not going to solve anything. The only thing it's going to do is land you in jail.
But now I did read a story. I think I read it to you this morning or last night. I think he was a little bipolar or had some kind of mental issues anyway.
Right.
Because in his desk at school, they found all these drawings where he had drew dead people bleeding out. He drew guns and saying that one day soon and things like that. And then his teacher came upon him researching on his phone, sitting up in the classroom, researching on his phone what kind of ammunitions to buy, because his mom, and his dad was all on Facebook, raving about that she bought him his early birthday gift, which was the rifle, the gun.
Right.
And so the teacher saw when he was looking for bullets and everything, so she, sent him to the principal's office and said, hey, that's not right, you shouldn't be doing that. So the principal calls the mom, and in between that time, the mom texts the young man and said, I'm not mad at you, next time just don't get caught. Hello? And then they called him the next day, 3 days later. His parents was coming to the school anyway because of he was getting into it at school and not doing right in class.
Right.
And so they're going to have like a parent-teacher conference.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up there. They tried to, so what's so funny, that day that he shot up the school was the same day they had the teacher's conference. He had the gun in his backpack then. And so he had got into, like, they didn't have any metal detectors or anything, but I'm thinking, if you already found that type of paraphernalia in his desk, and they said that when they went back to his desk to see if they can find it, he had took it out. So obviously he must have put it in his backpack.
Yep.
So if you're sitting up in the principal's office, why didn't y'all ask to open up his backpack to see what the principal was saying, to, just see if your son was really doing this? I feel like if they would have did that, they would have seen the gun.
Yeah.
But they did not. So they asked him, because he was going to get reprimanded anyway. So they asked him, did they want to take him home? The principal asked the parents, do you want to go ahead and take him home with you now? They said no. So they let him stay in school. The parents went home. The dad felt something, so he went in his room. The parents kept the gun in their room, their nightstand. He went in their room, saw the gun was missing. He called the police and said, I think my son is about to do something drastic.
Okay.
The mom texted her son and said, don't do it. By the time she texted him, he done already shot up to half the school. So where was the ball dropped here? Was it with the parents? Because according to the man that they purchased the gun from, the store, he was with them. So he was there from the inception of the purchase of the gun. He was the last one holding the gun. So was the ball dropped? Is this white privilege? What is this?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I'm not going to say that it's white privilege. Well, yeah, it is white privilege.
The reason why, okay, let me go ahead and say this in. Here locally in Midlothian, I think it was Midlothian, Texas, or is it Waxahachie, one of them. We had a black kid.
Right.
His family had money. He drove a souped up Charger car. He dressed nice. Had a mouthful of gold. He was getting bullied. He said the kids used to take his car, used to take his shoes, fight him almost every day.
Okay.
He got tired of being bullied.
Okay.
He brought a gun. It started off as a fist fight in the classroom, but then they kept messing with him, so he got his gun. He started shooting people. He went to jail. He was in there maybe a couple hours because his family burned him out. 'Cause like I said, his family had money.
Okay.
I think they trying to get his baby life.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, is it white privilege?
Just answered your own question.
Is it the parents dropping the ball, trying to be their friends, giving them equipment at that age that they do not? 15 years old with a gun that powerful? See, I'm having, like I said, I am disclaimer, I have no kids. I know these parents, because my mom and dad always tell me this. My grandmother used to tell my mom, I want you to have more than me. My mom used to tell me and my sister and brother, we want you to have more than us and do better than us. And if I had children, I would tell them the same thing. I tell my nieces that all the time. I want y'all to go further in school than we did. Go out there and get your career. I want you to go further than we did. I'm not sure there's any parent.
Yeah.
But when situations like this happen,
yeah,
who's to blame? Or is there blame? First of all,
I have a better question.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question. With all of these mass shootings that's going on in these schools, from the Columbine incident and before then, is society going to hold white mothers responsible for raising these mass shooters the same way that they hold the black mothers responsible for raising these thugs?
Absolutely. Good
That's
question.
the question.
Good question.
That's the $1 million question here. Because if Pookie and Ray Ray go to the school and just start socking people for no reason, the first thing they're going to say is they grew up in a single parent household.
Where was the father?
The father wasn't around. The mother is working 3 or 4 jobs, so she really can't pay attention to what they're doing.
Right.
So she's responsible for raising these menaces to society. That's exactly what they want to call them.
Oh yeah, degenerates. Is that the word?
Degenerates, yeah. These degenerates, these thugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and that was the whole point behind the movie Menace to Society. Okay, a lot of people didn't quite get that. They were too enamored with all the violence and all the bullshit that they was doing, all the nigga shit they was doing. Okay, but that was the whole premise behind that particular movie.
Also, Boys in the Hood too, right?
Boys in the Hood to a certain point.
Yeah.
So, but my point is this right here. Those women that are raising those mass shooters should be ostracized just as bad as these single mothers out here that's raising these so-called thugs. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And in this case, the father was in the home.
So what's the excuse now? So what's the excuse now?
I have no. That's what I'm saying. I'm just so torn.
Now,
I'm
as
torn.
far as buying a 15-year-old a gun, I have mixed emotions about that. The one emotion I have is this right here. I grew up in the country. You grew up in the country.
I did.
Guns were in the house. My grandfather told me a long time ago, back when I was 11, 12 years old, somebody comes in the house with guns over here, you know how to use it, you shoot to kill. If somebody comes in the house.
But other than that, you better not touch it.
Exactly. And we didn't touch the gun. Me or my cousin Jay, we never touched the gun. We knew where the gun was. We knew where the shells were. We didn't touch that gun unless we were told to touch the gun.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now, as far as buying a 15-year-old his own personal gun,
Right.
I would never do that. I would never ever do that. For the simple fact that, excuse me, for the simple fact that with the way these younger generation is wired now, that's instant courage for them. And they will not hesitate to pull it and blow somebody's head off.
In a heartbeat.
Case in point, this young man right here, Mr. Ethan Crumbly.
Right.
Crumbly. I think I'm saying his last name right.
Crumbling.
Okay. Now, again, it's unfortunate that this young man was bullied in school. I'm speaking as a person who used to get bullied. But there were different ways to handle that situation. He just didn't know how to do that. That's where the parents dropped the ball at. Okay? That's where they dropped the ball at. Because, like I said, my parents, my mother and my stepfather told me flat out, hey, if you being bullied, fight them back. They'll leave you alone. They were right.
My mom and dad told us that too. They told us,
Don't
be the instigator.
Don't start no trouble, but you better end it.
But if you try to protect yourself, you better knock their head off their shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they never told us. Well, my grandmother used to tell us, I'm just gonna say it the way she said. If you run across a big bitch that's bigger than you, you pick up the biggest rock you can find.
Yep.
You pick up the biggest rock you can find. You try to lay her ass out. You know, that's how. But they never said pick up a gun,
Right.
or a knife.
Of course not.
She told me pick up a rock.
Hey. A weapon.
So I don't. My heart is so torn because what is this? Generation Z? Is this what we in now?
I don't know what this is.
Generation Z,
I
Generation
lost track.
Alpha. I don't know what it is anymore. But I think the difference between the older generation and this new generation, I hate to say it because I know this is your field, is technology.
Right.
I just feel like they have access to so much social media and
Well, let me say this.
They feel they can't do nothing without social media.
Well, let me say this.
So it's like, I don't know.
Well, let me say this. That's part of the reason why, because there's so much information that they have access to. Okay, I will say that because they have way more access to information than we did when we were coming up. Because we had to get our information from encyclopedias.
We had to go to the library.
Yeah.
If we weren't rich, well, we had a set of encyclopedia.
Yeah, we had a set. I had a set.
But that was enough. You still had to go to the library.
Exactly.
You know, so, but they can just pick up a
cell phone.
$2,000 phone.
Oh, yeah.
And have access to anything. Want to know how to kill somebody? Boom, it's there. Want to order some bullets? Boom, you get it in Amazon 2 to 5 days. I mean, it's just like,
right.
Who do we blame? Because of course the world is going to evolve. Things are going to get better socially. Things are going to get better technologically wise, whatever. Right. I don't want to blame that part of it because I like my brother. I'm not trying to put them on blast or nothing, but my nieces was not raised with cable.
Okay.
When they come here, they monopolize this whole TV the whole time they hear it. Because they done heard about it from their kids, from their classmates and friends, and they come over here and get caught up on it.
Yeah.
But now they have the Roku and YouTube and all that. They have access to it already.
Right.
They have it now.
Right.
But when they were small, they did not have cable. And I used to be like, Daddy, your kids can't get cable. And so in a way, I'm glad about that, because they were still trying to make them, I guess, more social. Like Kimberly was big on reading and picking up a book, and she used to take them to the library every Saturday, and they was involved in like little social clubs, getting out the house and stuff like that. So I applaud Mike and Kimberly for that.
Okay.
But now these kids now that they're older, not putting them on blast, they have their phones in their hand too, 24/7, and they're always on it.
Right.
But I hope and pray that my nieces do not feel like to protect themselves they have to purchase or ask someone for a gun.
Well, see, that goes on the lines of parents being parents. I talked about that earlier. You got a lot of parents out there that want to be their parents, that want to be their children's friend, and they're not being parents anymore.
Well,
that's part of the problem.
The parents are beating up kids for they. You talking about, who? She touched you. She hit you. Oh, hell no.
Well, that's
parents going to the school fighting the kids.
Well, see, and that's uncalled for too. That's going to show you the immaturity of the parent itself.
Right.
But again, like I said, it goes on the lines of parents trying to be their children's friend as opposed to being the parent.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, hell, you got parents out there that smoke weed with their children. So, and they really shouldn't be doing that. I mean, I don't understand the philosophy yet, and they have the whole ideology. I'd rather them smoke weed with me, so that way they know if they're smoking as opposed to smoking with somebody that got some weed just laced with something. Which makes sense, but you shouldn't be smoking weed with a child in the first damn place. Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
For a long time I used to think, some of the girls was having babies early, and they used to have that old saying, babies raising babies.
Right.
But then when you think about it, like my great-grandmother, she was 12 when she had her first baby.
My grandmother was 15 when she had my Uncle John.
And she got married and everything, you know. What's the difference? She was a 12-year-old having a baby.
Different times.
She was married at 12 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Different times.
So it's
different times.
Is the young people today lazier, immature, lacking ambition? Like with me, I knew for a fact, I was going to college. You know, but my dad kept saying he didn't think I was. I thought you was going to be so hurry to get there and make money. I said I am, but I was able to realize that I'm going to have that piece of paper, even though it's just a piece of paper. I'm going to need it to open up a little bit more doors that I'm not going to be able to get through. Yeah. So I ended up going to college. And so that's why I said I wanted for my nieces. I said now they're in high school taking college courses now. So it's like way more than when I went through, So it's like I'm just torn. Like, what go? Like, look at that baby face on the screen right now. Look at him on the left. You look at his eyes. His eyes look dead.
Well, I got something better for you. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold. Here you go, right here. The Columbine shooters. Look at them. You'll see them pop up in a minute. There's a little bit of a delay. But if you look at these guys right here, from this picture right here.
Wow.
from this picture right here, you would never think that they would turn into this right here. And this other
like
picture would pop up.
Soccer kids,
Oh, just
basketball
wait. It
kids,
gets better. It gets
riding bikes. Hey, Mom, going over Dylan's house. Be back later.
That's what they look like when they were shooting up
Wow.
the place. Look at the deadness in their eyes.
And again, I ask you, what happened?
Oh, I got a good one. I got a real good one for you.
They
I got a
thought
real
they
good one
done
for
better
you.
than some soldiers that's in army.
Exactly. I got a better one for you. It'll pop up in a minute. Dylan Roof. Look how dead he looks in the face.
What are these kids seeing, experiencing, going through, dealing with, that they go from a happy-go-lucky kid to a dead-eyed, dead personality, just, oh my God. That's a big difference.
Of course it is.
And holding a Confederate flag.
Yeah. When he shot that church up, yeah. He went to that church for the sole purpose of shooting people. And you can't tell me different. They treated his ass like a celebrity when he got out the church.
Oh, that's the one that shot, then they gave him a burger and a cigarette.
Yeah. That's the one that's still in the roof.
Oh, this is the one also. He had visited the church a couple of times.
Yeah.
So he kind of like
premeditated
the situation.
Precisely.
Not like you didn't know it was a black church because you've been there before.
Oh, you've been there before. He knew what was up.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. And they welcomed him with open arms. That's the one thing. That's why I keep on trying to tell people. Black people, for the most part, are very malevolent people. We always have been.
Always have been.
Always have been. That's just how we are. We embrace everybody. No matter what your problem is, you could have a patch up your eye and a broke leg. We don't care. Come on in here. Limp on in here. We good.
Yeah, they look just, I don't know.
Yeah, the innocence just goes away for some reason.
That's what I was just going to say.
The innocence just goes away. That's the biggest problem.
I was 28, almost 30 years old. And I went out with my friends one day. You know, I got carded. And when I tell you, I felt so good. I'm like, oh, you think oh my God. These kids now, they look like they 40. Look at that boy. That boy like, 15, 16, 17, 18, nothing.
Like he
been at work all day with the double shift. And he got to go try to take care of baby because the baby crying. That's what that boy look like. He don't look like no 16-year-old who just came from playing soccer, who just came from his homeboy house playing video game. Okay, speaking of, are these video games making them decentralized to killing and
there's a whole lot. Again, it's like you said, they have a whole lot of access to a whole lot of everything. And
they play video games,
and they're desensitized to it. But and you're absolutely right. You know for a fact I'm a gamer. I like. For those of you who don't know, I like two genres of video games. I like survival horror, and I like fighting games. I don't too much care for shooter games. I like them to a certain point, but those are two genres that I like. Okay, but I've never wanted to go out and just take a gun and just blow somebody's head off for no reason. That doesn't make sense to me. Marvin's in the house. He made a really good point. He said the media is the best tool for propaganda. He is absolutely right on that. Malcolm X said that 60 years ago.
But do we blame the media though, for real?
You can blame media to a certain extent because, like I said again, they regulate what's on the media right now.
Well, true.
I mean, these children right now have been so desensitized to everything that's out there till it's just nothing to them.
It's a norm.
Yeah, it's a norm to them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, my favorite game was Miss Pac-Man. And the little line where you try to keep the ball to hit the line, what they call pong.
Yeah.
That was mine. Yeah. But like I said, the parent want to get the kid, what's the latest game that's out?
Right.
What's the latest gaming system that's out? The latest shoes that's out? Man, I wish I could have went to my mom. Mama, won't you give me these Jordans? And I need them by Friday. Oh, like, if you don't get your... These kids are wearing better clothes than the parents, driving better cars than the parents. I don't know. That's why I ask, are we making them lazy? Are we making them not go-getters? Are we making them just despondent to what really working hard means?
As parents, yes. A lot of parents are. They don't want them to struggle, for lack of a better term. In my personal opinion, they need to struggle, so that way they know.
Absolutely.
Because my mother always told me, and I've held this to my heart right here. My mother has always told me that sometimes you gotta fall so you can learn how to pick yourself back up.
Absolutely.
So every time I fall, I pick myself back up because I know how to do it now. These children out here right now, if they fall, they don't know. I fall and they can't get up. And the first thing they start trying to do is ask their parents, "Man, Mom, can I?" No, you can't.
And so many grown people, like when I moved out, thank you God, by the grace of God, I have never returned home. I never returned home. But there's some 30, 40 years old who still live with mom and dad.
They've been living with mom and dad since day one.
And that's what I'm like, who do we blame there? Do we blame? I mean, I know we all go through, we done left, we come back, especially this economy that we're in. I understand that. But they don't have no get up about moving out either.
No, they don't.
They slow walking it.
Slow walking the hell,
So
they ain't
it's
even
like,
walking.
who do we blame? Do we blame Big Mama because someone moved with the grandmothers and someone moved back in with the parent? You know, so who are we blaming here? Do we blame the government because there's no decent jobs where somebody can pay a full 1-bedroom rent for $1,200? You know, it's just, and then these kids see that they see hustling and they trying to get that 15 minutes of fame, trying to become rappers and what they call them, fashion models, and I don't know. The generation loss, this is a good topic, and like I said, I wish we had some parents to call in and talk to us and just kind of explain to us what's, especially me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know, again, look at that baby eyes. And then I heard on the DL Rodriguez show, you and I was together when we heard that, because he went into court during his arraignment and he had his hands in a prayer stance. He might not get, or they might try to, what the word that DLC said, they might try to like lessen his charge or something, or because his hand was in the prayer stance.
Well, see, this is what's getting ready to happen. They're going to do the same thing to him that they did with Kyle Rittenhouse, that they did with the Columbine too, and that they did with Dylan Roof. What they're going to try to do is they're going to try to downplay everything that they're going to try to downplay everything that he did.
How can they do that? Three people died, did another one, so it's 4 people.
They did it with Kyle Rittenhouse,
all
and he's
under
free.
the age of 18.
They did it to Kyle Rittenhouse, and he's free.
You're right.
They downplay the whole situation. So they're going to do the same thing with him too. They're going to try their best to downplay him. They're not going to bring up a violent past the way they tried to keep it buried with Kyle Rittenhouse, but it still got out. They're not going to demonize him. So what they're going to do is they're going to take this whole situation and they're going to big up everything that he's done as far as the praying and all the other crap that he was doing, trying to gain the sympathy of the public. And his lawyers, whoever they are going to play up on that. They did the same thing with Kyle Rittenhouse, which is why Kyle Rittenhouse is free right now.
Well, let's take a step back too.
Okay.
These parents buying a gun.
Okay.
Should they be charged?
Hell yeah. They're just
so are we gonna
responsible.
go back and charge Kyle's mother?
We should.
Should. Mighty right about that.
We should.
But they tried to get away though.
Hell yeah, they trying to get away. They was on the lawn for a while, wasn't
like,
they?
we out of here.
Oh, I forgot about this other picture, man. There's another picture out here. No, that's the same one. Never mind. I'm sorry, same one. I thought I had a different one out here. Never mind.
So at the beginning of this segment, I did a disclaimer that I've never been responsible, like had kids in my household that I was responsible for. Can you kind of allude on that? Because you have been in that situation, and just kind of speak on what you taught them and what you instill in them that situations like this wouldn't happen to your family.
Well, the boys always taught them that being a man is just not, just being a man just because you got a penis and a scrotum or something doesn't make you a man. You know, a man takes responsibility for his actions. Okay? A man says what he means and means what he says.
Amen.
You know, if you got a woman, a man takes care of his woman. A man provides and protects his woman. That's what a man does. A man doesn't have to have babies all over the damn place to prove that he is a man. That's what I told mine. So,
Well, it's like you told him right.
yeah, that's what I told her. And as far as the girls are concerned, I told them flat out, hey, let me tell you something. You don't need no man's approval to tell you how pretty that you are. Okay, plain and simple. Which is the reason why that my baby girl is 30 years old and she does not have nobody's child.
I told my brother that my brother has 2 girls. I'm finna cry.
Go ahead, let it go.
Everybody know I'm a daddy's girl.
Yes, you are. I could tell that.
And I miss him dearly.
Yes, you do.
I miss my mom, don't get me wrong. We was like, me, my mom, and my sister was like 3 musketeers, but my dad was I fell in love with my dad when I was a young girl because my dad showed me how a man's supposed to treat a woman.
Right.
My dad took me on my first date, showed me how a man is supposed to talk to me, care for me, show me that he wants me and not my body.
Right.
And he was the first man to tell me that I'm beautiful. That's why I be trying to tell my nieces, yeah, them little boys gonna say everything they can to get in your pants. They gonna tell you that you're the best, finest thing walking.
Yep.
But the only thing you should say, oh, I know, come I get that told to me at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't no man tell you nothing that you haven't already heard from your own.
Exactly.
And I feel so sorry for some of these fatherless daughters and fatherless sons. Because like I always say, like I have a friend, I'm not going to put her name out there, but she thinks she can raise, I tell her all the time, you can't raise a boy.
A woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. I'm sorry.
You cannot.
I have had that argument with so many men and women. I'm sorry. A woman cannot teach a boy how to be a man. It can't be done. I'm sorry.
Now don't get me wrong, we as women has come a long way. We have succeeded beyond bounds compared to our foremothers. But there are still some things as women we cannot do. We just cannot do. And I think we need to let go of the reins on some things and let a man step in and do their part. You know, because that's what they are there for. God put men on here on this earth to be the strongest sex.
Right.
And like I said, we are when we are stronger. We are women. Here we roar. Hear us roar. We can change a tire and pay the bills and whatever. Get nice positions in companies, have 6-figure income. But there are still some things we cannot do when it comes to our men and young men in our life.
No, we can't.
We can't keep trying to raise these grown men because they mama should have raised them a long time ago.
Hello. I agree with you on that. 100%.
And if we have any young men in our we have any sons, we need to have men around our sons.
I agree, and not just anybody that you, not just the person that you happen to be fucking at the time being.
Right, because some of them don't even have it together.
No, they don't.
And so you gotta watch who you let talk to your sons sometimes. Even let talk to your daughters.
I agree.
Now this, I don't know if we'll get copyrighted for this, but there was an episode on Ricky Smiley's show last week where he said, is it okay to buy your son a kitchenette set? And some people are like, hell no, I'm not gonna buy my kid. That's gonna lead to him being gay. And so I'm kind of torn on that situation as well, because my dad taught me and my brother how to cook.
Yeah.
Because he told us, because my dad was a hell of a cook, and he told us that his mom taught him, because you shouldn't have to depend on nobody for you to eat.
Here's the thing about that. Would I buy a little boy a kitchenette set? The answer is no, I wouldn't. But as he gets older, I would definitely teach him how to cook. I taught both of my sons how.
So what's wrong with buying him a kitchenette set?
I just wouldn't do it because to me, it's not that it's going to lead to homosexuality. It's just that a kitchenette set is, dare I say it, I might get flagged for this, and I really don't care. It's just, kitchenettes are for a girl, plain and simple. It is. It's for a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to get, caught up in that mix-up, because that's exactly what they're doing right now.
I think that's a stereotypical answer. Cause they felt like that old saying, girls belong in the kitchen and the man belong.
Oh no. I would teach my son how to cook once he gets a little bit older, because I taught mine. I taught both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I taught both of my stepsons how to cook. But it is what it is.
I don't know. Like I said, I was just torn when I heard some of the people comments and. Oh, excuse me, guys.
I'm not gonna say it's gonna teach them how to be gay. I wouldn't go that far.
But some of the top chefs in the world are men.
I agree.
So how did they learn how to cook?
They learn from somebody.
I'm not saying they was in the kitchenette, but
right. I mean, it is what it is.
But I just feel like I'm not knocking parents. Like I said, I'm not one. But I just think that we need to have more discipline in the home.
I agree.
I feel like some of us women are competing with our own daughters.
Which you shouldn't be.
As far as who got the better looks, who got the bigger booty, who can get a man, stuff like that.
There shouldn't be no competition like that, but you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. Want to open these phone lines?
Yeah, absolutely.
Phone lines are open, y'all. The phone number's on the screen, 469-638-3459. So by all means, call. Lance, I know you in the building. Give us a buzz, brother. I know you got something to say. So, yeah.
I don't know. I just think it just need to, even though we had that oldism and that wiseism with our great grandmothers and grandma, I think we need to go back to some of those ways of living.
My grandmother taught me how to cook when I was 16. Mm-hmm. No, I was younger than that. I was 14. She taught me how to cook because she told me flat out, ain't nobody, there's gonna be a time when I ain't gonna be around to feed you.
That's
you gotta feed
mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, grandma.
Well, my grandmother, like I said, I've been trying to get her recipe for them homemade biscuits. Mine come out looking like tea cakes, but I'm gonna keep trying until I get it. But when she was showing me, like we grew up with, me and my brother and sister, when we lived in the country, we also grew up with cousins.
Yeah.
Me and my sister was the only girls in the house, but when she had me enter the kitchen, them boys was right there.
Of course.
They were right there. When they used to go outside and chop wood, I used to go out there with them and learn how to chop wood too.
Yep.
Because when them sometimes, all the boys play sports, so when that night hit and that wood stove needs some wood,
come on.
Who she call on when the wood was low?
Mm-hmm.
Big mama, mm-hmm. I need to go out there and chop some wood. Mm-hmm. Be like, well, damn, okay, you better I got my nails on. It was funny back then, but I knew how to go out there and slang a axe.
Slang that axe.
Yeah. And then I also knew how to go in the kitchen, go out to the barn, kill a chicken, clean it, wring his neck, and I knew how to fry it up too.
There you go.
So it's like we need to get back to that stance. Like I know a lot of parents who don't even have their kids doing chores. Simple chores is clean up their room, washing dishes, washing their own clothes. They don't do none of that.
Nope.
And I'm like, I used to do that for like 8 people in the household.
Yep.
By myself.
Yep.
And it wasn't no modern day machine like this. Wasn't no machine that was set outside in the yard. Right. We had to boil the water,
yep.
And then we had to put the clothes through this wringer.
Yep.
And my grandma said, "Don't you put your hand through that wringer." My hands would go through that every time. I swear to God. So it's like y'all have a wash machine in the house, 2 feet from your bedroom, and you don't even want to wash your own clothes.
Too lazy to get your ass up and wash your own damn clothes.
I don't know this generation. I don't know.
That's why I call it generation lost, because they are lost, man. They have no clue to what's going on.
How are they going to work? How are they going to further along in life if they're lost? If they're lost right now between the age of 12 and 18, how they gonna get beyond that?
I had a friend. Well, he's still a friend of mine. Old friend of mine. I've been on this dude since the 2nd grade. Mm-hmm. His name is Elmer Davison. Let me tell you how me and Elmer first met. When we first met, we didn't like each other. I didn't like him. He didn't like me. So one day, the tempers came to a boil and we had a fight, and I whooped his ass. He'll tell you that of his own mouth. I wanted to fight. After that, we were the best of friends. Now, let's speed up a few years. I think Marvin might know. He was a little up the street from me. Marvin lived down the street from me. Elmer, I met Elmer. Well, I got back in contact with Elmer a while back, and he said, "Man, you know what? I wish I would have listened to you back when we was younger, man, because, you know, I had no clue life was going to kick me in the ass the way that it did. Because Elmer was one of those was one of those people, he always depended on his dad and his mother. Always. And I remember asking him when we were younger, I would always ask Elmer, say, man, yo, what you going to do after you get out of high school, man? You know, what's your plan? He said, I ain't got no plan.
Wow.
I said, really? Man, you better think about the future, man. Because, like, you know, your parents ain't going to be around forever. You got to be able to take care of yourself.
So when you say dependent on his money, like for like basic needs?
You heard me? Wow. And he thanked me. He said he told me this out of his own mouth. He said, I wish I would have listened to you back when you was telling me about thinking about the future when we were younger.
I think when parents do that, they doing such a disservice to their children.
I agree with you on that.
Wow.
I mean, you want your children to be out here, and you want your children to have the best. I agree with you on that. You know, that's any parent. You want your children to be better than you. My mother has always said this, and she'll tell you. I'm quite sure she's told you this. My son is smarter than me.
Oh yeah.
So, and I would hope that if I would have had children of my own, I would have wanted my children to be smarter than me.
Absolutely.
Please, by all means, it's a big world out there, man. So much to learn.
I don't know. I pray, you know, it's like I don't think there hasn't been a year that there hasn't been a school shooting.
Well, these school shootings are becoming more and more commonplace. And like I said, I'm going to ask this question again. Are they going to hold white parents as accountable as they do black parents?
I don't think so, because none of them have been brought. This case right here with, what's his name here? The story
Little Ethan.
Little Ethan. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think his parents will be the first set of parents being brought up on charges. I'm going to do my research, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct myself next week, but I don't think no other parents have been charged. I'm thinking, all these kids that normally do these school shootings are under 18.
Yeah.
So they can't buy a gun.
Right.
So they're using somebody's gun.
Yeah.
And if they're using a household gun, I mean, that's their parent's gun.
Right.
And even if the parent didn't know that they took it, you're still responsible for keeping it locked up in a safe place.
Yeah, they have gun safes just for that purpose.
So I think, if I'm not wrong, I think this is the first set of parents. And I also heard that they're going to charge him, even though he's 15, they're going to charge him as an adult. So I think this is the first time I heard this too. So I think they tied all these different school shooters. So I think he's going to get made an example out of, as well as his parents. Long time overdue, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's needed.
Very long time overdue.
It's needed.
Very long time overdue. But, you know, it is what it is. So.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it's.
So what do? We call it generation loss. Do we have any solutions? How to get them unlost?
No. Because, you know, once you get a child to a certain stage, man, you can't tell them anything. We've been through that ourselves as children ourselves. Because, like, once we got to a certain age, we listened to no damn body. We knew it all. I mean, it's just like this generation right here. They don't listen now at the age of 5 and 6.
I read this story. This lady said she thought her daughter was deaf because when she tell her to do stuff, she just be sitting there like, no, and she thought she was deaf. And so she took her baby to the doctor. Doctor said, "There's nothing wrong with this baby here. It's just that she was she was ignoring her mother, and this baby was 3 years old." I'm like, man.
People used to think that I had a hearing problem back when I was a child too.
And you just ignoring people?
I'm just ignoring people. I'm looking at you cause I look at it like this. I heard you call my name the first 6 times. Okay?
You should have got your ass whooped. I'm sorry.
Nah, that is.
3 years old, you ignoring people?
No, I wasn't that. I'm just saying. I just got a little bit. You know, I just started knowing people when I got a little bit older because, like, you know, cause like they would say, cause like they would call my name and call my name and call my name and call my name and like, really?
That's what especially my grandpa, what they did. Hey, be like, you gonna go? Nah, I ain't gonna go. You gonna go? We was just trying to pin on who gonna go. And all of a sudden she was like, I'm not running out, Herbie.
Oh yeah, they used to call me. They didn't call nobody else but me. It was always me.
Oh, so you just got tired of him calling your name.
I think Reggie got a hearing problem. I can hear you just fine. I heard you the first 6 times you heard me. You called me. Trust me, I heard you. I heard you.
But yeah, this generation, like I know, I'm not. And let me also put this out there too. We're not talking about all kids.
Oh no, not all of them.
Because there are some outstanding go-getters, headstrong students, kids, children, whatever you want to call them, millennials out there. But there are quite a few that they are doing things I wouldn't even have dreamed of doing when I was their age. And like they have no fear. Like they have no fear. Be like, do you know what kind of world we live in? I gotta live. You trying to live at 13? Okay.
Yeah, they have the you only live once philosophy, which, okay. Yeah, but yeah, you ain't gotta rush the death part of it, now, do you? I mean, come on now, it doesn't make any sense. But
that's right.
Yeah, but they do.
Well, I just pray that something inspirational will come out this situation. We can't keep having these kids taking. Cause I know, like when we was in school, one of the big pranks was like if somebody didn't want to take a test that day or something, they'll pull the fire escape thing,
Oh yeah.
But to start a fight and shoot up the school, man,
Nah, we didn't do none of that. That's yeah.
And it's this government not making it any better. That you can just go out and get a gun and don't need a permit. So, I don't know. But I'm glad we're talking about this because we need to let people know that this is real. This is real life. I always make that joke that we're going to be walking around here like the OK Corral. These kids are already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it. They don't believe in fighting anymore. Fighting? What's a fight?
Just like you just spoke. You and your friend had a fight. Y'all became the best of friends.
Yeah.
These kids, if they do have a fight, they be trying to get back at them. But in the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary.
Oh, yeah, they do. And I think that's sad, man. I mean, come on, man. You lost a fight. Learn how to fight.
And these boys, the boys don't even fight. He ain't gonna hit my face. They'll pull a gun. Boys don't fight no more either. I don't know.
No, they don't fight no more. They don't fight no more because they can't fight. Mike Epps had a joke. He said, guns don't kill people. People that can't fight do. And he's absolutely right. They can't fight. That's the problem. That's why they always killing each other, because they can't fight.
Well, stop being fly.
Case in
Shut
point.
your mouth.
I agree with you on that. Case in point, these people that's out here doing these school shootings, they are doing these school shootings because they can't fight.
Well, just take a L. Just know that you getting bullied. You can't fight. These people are picking on you. I mean, I know they tell you to go use the protocol, go to the principal, tell the principal, tell, whatever. But don't think about.
Take up karate.
I was just gonna say that. Take up some judo or something.
Anything, man.
I used to swing. Take up a swing class. Just bow your head and start swinging.
You want to hear something?
Take up a kickboxing. Start kicking something.
Anything.
Leave the guns at home.
I agree.
Because you're killing innocent people.
That didn't do anything to you.
Nothing to you. Like this is why I was asking you about this case here. Now he he shot 13 people.
Hold on, let me put you back up there. Hold on, let me put him back up there.
Let me see. I had wrote it down to
Let me
be
put him back
exact.
up there. I put him back up there.
What it was. Okay, he killed 13 people. He shot at 13 people. 4 dead, 8 injured. All of them was bullying him?
No.
No.
No, man. No. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. I don't believe that at all.
And just about those drawings he made, this is stuff that he thought about. He thought about killing. He thought about seeing somebody laying on the floor bleeding out. This is stuff that he drew on paper. So was that considered premeditated as well?
Well, anybody out there that's listening that has known me for any length of time knows that I love to draw. This young lady that I'm still sitting across from me has seen a lot of my work. Now, I can honestly tell you that a lot of times when you're an artist, you talk through your artwork. Okay? Now, if he had that kind of a twisted mind to think about stuff like dead bodies and, decapitations and dismemberments and stuff like that, that should have been a warning sign to whatever adult was listening.
Hence, that's why they had the parent-teacher conference.
Exactly. So, and if the parents didn't listen to that, again, the parents are at fault here because they had the signs. The signs are right there. Obviously, the signs are right there. So there shouldn't be any question as to what was going on with this young man.
Right.
I mean, like I said again, him being bullied. I'm sorry, as somebody who used to get bullied, I feel sorry for the young man, but taking to this extreme and shooting up the school and shooting up people that wasn't even bullying you, that's a little bit uncalled for.
Right.
But again, it's like we were saying before, learn how to fight. Take us some karate lessons or whatever, because you can go to the Y and take free karate lessons.
It reminds me of that episode of Sanford and Son when that man was bullying Lamont because he was dating Lamont.
I remember that.
And Lamont
took up karate.
And then he jumped and started hollering. And they thought he was having a fit. Just start having a fit on people. Just start going to people like they bigger thinking, oh Lord, something wrong with her. Maybe it is, but you ain't gonna mess with me no more.
Put some peanut butter in your pants and make it seem like it was some doodle and was sticking.
Oh, good. Bite down on the Alka-Seltz and start falling. They'll start acting like
leave you alone, man.
Yeah, I bet they leave you alone there.
Exactly. There's ways to get out of fighting, man. There's ways to get out of it. There's ways to get out of it.
Picking up a gun is not one of them.
But picking up a gun, man, that's completely unnecessary.
You're
man.
killing innocent people.
You're killing people that don't have anything to do with you, man. So that's not cool.
Like I saw so many parents just like they're despondent because they're like, I don't even know if I want to send my child back to school, but I don't want my kid to be homeschooled because they need to have a social life too. So it's like now these parents are told exactly. Like I saw this on one, and she said my daughter just had a hard time being at home because of COVID, and I'm gonna have to pull her out because I don't know if she's gonna call because she was one that stood and said, hey mom, I love you. If I don't get to see you again, I want you to always know that I love you.
Right.
And I'm sorry we had an argument the other. She was like pretty much confessing everything in her text to her mom because she thought she wasn't gonna make it home. That's sad.
Right.
That is sad.
Really, it is, man. That's
It's too much for any child to have to handle.
I agree with you on that.
This is grown people shit they dealing with.
Yep.
You
You're
know,
right.
I feel sorry for these babies. I really do. And then again, that's why I'm saying I'm still torn on how did we get here? How did we get to look at that young man in that orange suit? He just looked dead older. He got his little camera, whatever that is, and he was like a happy-go-lucky little Larry. But over here on the other, he looked like a dead-eye Fred. That's crazy. That's just... He's no more than 15. He's already looking like that at 15. That's... What have he seen? What have he experienced? I don't know.
That's what I'm telling, man.
I don't know.
There's no telling what's going through that head of his, because nobody knows. But that again, like I said, that goes along the lines of being a parent. You have to sit down and talk to your child. Don't talk at them, talk to them.
Exactly. Good point. Good point. Because most of like the lady said, I'm not mad at you, LOL. What's the LOL for?
Damn, man.
You should be like, what the hell you online looking at bullets at school for? You wait till you get home.
Thank you. That's what my mom would have said. Well, what the hell wrong with you?
But they want to be their friends. They don't want to upset them. They don't want them mad at them. Girl, you better...
Damn, man. You better put your big drawers on.
My mama did not care if I was mad at her. She talking about slamming over the door. I dare to slam another door. I ain't call myself being pissed off slam a door. She'll open my door. Did you pay? I'll be like, girl, back up. Sometimes I just, like I always said, some of these parents, they need to put maybe like 3 to 4 ounces of fear in these kids. Cause people, you can ask my friend Gwen. People think, your mama's so sweet. Shit. What did my brother tell you on Thanksgiving? Shit, made us go get our own switch.
Hell yeah. Yep. That's a hell of a philosophy, man. Go tell you, go get something to whoop your own ass.
Exactly. These kids, I don't even know if these kids know what a switch is.
They don't. what they'll do is they'll call Child Protective Services on them. I look at it like this: bye. One less mouth I got to feed. Knock yourself out. Go on, bye. You be running back here before you know it. I promise you, you will. But I can honestly tell you, man, one of my stepsons, they came up to me and they didn't come up to me. They called me on the phone and said, man, I want to thank you for being hard on us, man, because if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be in jail right about now. But I wasn't really hard on them. I just wanted them to be men. That's all it was.
Right.
So, you know, but
15 years old.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's nothing more we can say about it.
Nothing more we can say about it, man. So I guess we can wrap this show up.
But again, like I said, I want to say I don't have kids, but this is my opinion. We need to do better by these children, people.
I agree. I agree because they learn from us.
Exactly.
Plain and simple. That's why I say that we failed this generation, because they're learning from us.
What they say, even though they go to school and they have a teacher for 7 to 8 hours a day.
No, you're with them most of their life.
Their parents, exactly.
The first teacher of the child is the parents, more specifically the mother.
Absolutely.
Because this goes along the lines of me being an old farm boy. When the chickens come, when the chickens are learning how to feed, they learn from the mama. Mm-hmm. The mama teaching, have them out there going out there scratching and seeing what they can get, and boom, that's what they're learning from.
Mm-hmm. Just like the baby bird, the mom pushed the bird out the nest. She told me, you better start flapping.
And if they don't start flapping, they go back and get them and say, don't worry, you ain't ready yet.
I'm gonna give you another 2 weeks.
Marvin put up a really good point. He said they would use the bully card for sure for the defense. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. They're gonna use that card. They're going to use that card, no doubt about it. They did the same thing with the Columbine too. When they did that, they pulled the bully card out and said, hey, he was being bullied in school, this, that, and the third. They were being bullied in school, this, that, and the third, but, you know, whatever.
That's crazy.
And they went through the whole school, shot up all those damn people.
Yeah. Like I said, they didn't get bullied by 12, 13 people.
No, they didn't.
They shot 12, 13 people.
Yep.
But I want to wrap it up by saying, if you haven't been aware, there's a new variant in town.
Yeah.
And it's called Omicron. It hasn't left people. It's getting worse. Well, they said this one is much worse, and it has the symptoms of having a cold.
See,
this type of year, this is when people get colds this time of year. So
yeah,
you don't know. So wear the mask. Get your vaccine shots. I know a lot of people have their reservations, but they are saying once, even though you get the vaccine shot, you might take a chance of getting it, but it won't be detrimental.
You have a bad chance of getting it once you get the vaccine because your immune system has been lowered. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm kind of leery about getting the vaccine myself, because like if I get it, that means my immune system, which is very strong by itself, will be compromised because of this this jab. Mm-hmm. But I would never tell anybody not to get it. I would never do that.
Absolutely.
If you want to get it, knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying not to get it. I mean, I'd already said I was going to get it for this woman sitting across from me. Mm-hmm. But you know, I would do it for her. But other than that, I'm not going to do it, man. I wouldn't do it for myself.
Like when I went to the doctor, she was telling me about Omicron, but then she said there's 2 more on the horizon. So we're not over yet, people. So we're going to go into 2022 probably still fighting something of the family of COVID-19.
Yep.
That started in 2020. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's crazy. So please, on behalf of me and my little melanated thoughts, still wear your mask. I know some people like, we went out this weekend and people look at me and my sister like we was crazy.
Like y'all came from
they like, what they got the mask on for?
In the words of Paul Moore, look like you came from the planet Negatoria.
Right, so they were like, what they doing? They're like, yeah, I still wear mine. So, to each his own, protect yourselves. Just protect yourself and your family is all I can say. But another good show, darling.
Another great show. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe next time somebody call in. No calls this week, but that's okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's all right. You ain't got to call in. It would be nice if you did, but you know, it is what it is. But yes, another good show. Another good show. For those of you that are new to the show, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We were a little bit late today because, you know, we had to eat. I just put it out there, y'all. We had to eat, so, you know.
We had to eat.
We had to eat, so, you know.
But we're going to try to do better.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely do better. We'll definitely do better. You know.
And hit the notification bell so you'll know when we're doing a live show.
Yeah. Hit the like button, hit that little bell icon. Cause I know for a while, man, they was trying to shadow ban us for a minute, man.
Wow.
So, you know, which is kind of messed up. And as usual, we do have our sponsor, Park Right Graphics. You know, they did the shirt that I have on right now.
Absolutely.
But eventually we're gonna get back on camera, y'all. I promise.
I'll take fall for that.
Eventually we will. Eventually we will. We'll get back on camera, y'all, so y'all can see some of the stuff that we got from those guys.
Yeah, we got cups and T-shirts.
We got cups, T-shirts, mouse pads, you name it, man. We got all that.
What was your little art book? They do art books. So very
They
talented.
do really good work, man.
Absolutely.
So we go to them all the time, as a matter of fact. So yeah, they're good.
Absolutely.
But anyway, yeah, go there and check them out. Their website is coming, so you know, look for that. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up.
Please.
Oh yeah, definitely. So anyway, this is it for the show, y'all, and we hope you enjoyed this information.
Absolutely.
Cause I enjoyed giving it, and so did she. We both did. So.
Current events, baby.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
like current
indeed.
events. We just let you know what's really going on in this here world.
Hell yeah, and how it affects us as black folks. You know, cause this, you know, even though he killed white people, it still affects us, y'all. Let's just be real. It affects us just as much as it affects the white folks. Now, even more so than it affects the white people. So, just so y'all know, man.
Definitely. I'm just gonna put this out there. This might not even make it past the walls that we're sitting in. But if anybody know Candace Owens, can y'all have her call the show?
Man, you know what? That would be too cool.
I just want to talk to her. I just want to pick her brain. I just want to know where she get her train of thought process. I just really want to know. Is she for real? Is this all a facade? I just really want to know. Because I don't, like I said, I get along with everybody. But with her, it's something about her. It's like, I think this is all a game to her. I think when she do so, she go back in her room and be like, what's the little cat that used to laugh that when he did something bad?
Precious, you talking about Precious Pup. Muttley, next one.
I think she has a Muttley moment every time she leaves somebody's platform.
I gotta find this. I gotta find the sound bite. I'm gonna find the sound bite.
I really do. There's no way she sleeps well at night with a thought process like that, especially your own kind.
Her whole. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And the reason why I don't get it is because I just don't get it. I guess because I'm not a coon. But
say it again.
I don't get it because I ain't a coon, man. You know, I refuse to ride the coon train, man, because like it's a lot of folks on that train, man. You know, because ain't Alan West running for governor?
He ain't running for governor on down here in Texas.
I hope he ain't gonna try to get the black vote.
Who else he gonna try to get?
Black people don't like Alan West. I'm sorry.
You think they do?
Well, guess what? They don't.
He was at a church recently, a big black church down here recently. I was like, oh, really? Really? You're going there? Okay, good luck.
He probably ain't been in the black church a day in his life.
Ever. Well, good luck with that. That's why I said okay, let me say it so we can wrap it up. We as black people, I'm not trying to put her on blast, but how Kamala did us, we gonna have to open our eyes. They tell us what they want to hear, or they think we want to hear. Then when they get in office, they backtrack like what goes backwards.
They backtrack like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk.
They backtrack like Michael Jackson doing the moonwalk. And it leaves us with nothing. We're gonna have to do better, people.
Well, I've always said it, man. I hate to be. I mean, you know, me personally, I'm not an I told you so person, but I told y'all. I tried to tell y'all.
Yeah, you did.
That's the reason why I didn't vote, and that's the reason why Malcolm said, you know, in his speech about the bullet. And people need to actually listen. I played this speech on this show. People need to go back and go back to that show.
When it over 50 years ago?
He did it over 50 years ago.
Look
in
how
1964.
True it is. Look how true it's still here today.
In 1964, he did that speech.
I don't know. I just Do your homework, people. Just don't vote because we got the same skin color.
Don't vote.
Or that he's an omega or alpha, or she's an alpha, or she's an AKA. Do your due diligence
and do your research, man.
Do your research.
Because she didn't have because you know, you have to understand something about Kamala Harris. She might look black. She ain't black, y'all.
And it's what this one lady was saying. She said she wasn't black. I've never heard her say she's not black. Her actions shows
that she wasn't black.
That she has not too much to do with black people.
Of course. And I ain't just saying it just because she's married to a white man either.
Mm-mm.
You know, because I got a really good friend of mine who's married to a white woman. He cool as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact, one of my closest friends, you know, has biracial children. You know, hey, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but, you know, she's not black because, like you said, her actions prove that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because her dad is Jamaican. That doesn't mean anything. You go to any Jamaican and tell them they're black, they probably cut your throat.
Oh, yeah.
They said, no, I am not black, I am Jamaican. You know, yeah, and they are, and that's what they are, they're Jamaican. So, but anyway.
No, that's my little soap.
No, you're right, I agree with you on that.
But again, if anybody know Candace, please answer call 469-638-3459.
Hell yeah.
Email melanatedthoughts@earthlink.net. We would gladly read her questions, read her synopsis, whatever she wanted. Definitely, I just want to know.
Yep.
And with that being said, we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap this up, y'all. Good show, as usual.
Absolutely.
Good show, as usual. Mm-hmm. So, you know, maybe next time somebody will call in, you know, Marvin. Hopefully you call in next time, brother. But we'll holler at y'all later. In the meantime, I'm Reggie O.
And I am Mimi the Lady.
And we out, y'all.
Bye.